Our facilitator for this evening, Odunayo Akiche, is a multiple award-winning fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. He has almost 2 decades of financial management experience working in the NGO and developmental sector. She has worked with international donors such as USAID, FIV, now FCVO, UN agencies, and a host of other international and local non-governmental organizations alike. It has a factor to share knowledge, build capacity, and support small and growing businesses. To take us through the theme for today's discussion, today's webinar, financial skills for entrepreneurs, basically financial intelligence. Let's make welcome Odunayo Akiche to financial skills.
Good evening, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Abdul Karim, for the warm welcome and the flamboyant introduction. So I'm just going to jump into the meat of the seminar, as we're going to be talking about financial intelligence for entrepreneurs. And I'm going to talk a little bit about myself. I think he has done a bit of introducing me, but I want to also mention that I'm the Chief Errand Officer of Dev Systems International, a professional consulting firm that I set up particularly for something like this, to support SMEs, small, medium, and even large organizations, to set up systems and develop financial and organizational support for the work that they do. We are a group of professionals dedicated to providing financial management solutions that are fit for purpose. I'd reiterate, fit for purpose. So we will do a needs assessment with your organization and then help you, guide you on what exactly your organization needs in terms of your financial health. Moving on to the main objective of this webinar rather. I believe by the end of this session, these are the objectives that every participant here should have achieved. First, you should be able to understand what it means to be financially intelligent. You should also be able to identify basic financial records that you need to keep and for what purpose. The key elements that drive your profit and improve your cash flow should be something that you have at your fingertips after this course. And then there's a relationship between cash and profit. I hope that by the end of this course, you would have understood what that means. Finally, and most importantly, you should be able to agree on what you're going to do differently after this course. What will be your next step? What will drive you? What will be that thing that you feel like, oh, I need to get it done because I attended this session? So, financial intelligence is one of the most crucial skills an entrepreneur should have. In fact, you can develop it if you don't have it. It is not just knowing the figures. What do you do with it? It's about making smart strategic decisions based on what you understand your figures are telling you. It is a backbone of business successes and transforming numbers to strategic insights, which helps you to prevent costly mistakes and position you for sustainable growth. Why is it important? Entrepreneurs with these skills, they tend to understand their numbers and can make data-driven decisions. They know why the numbers are giving them what is given, and they know what to do with it. They're in control. That's just what it means. Some people are in business, and it's the business that is controlling them. A financially intelligent person is the one controlling the business. They see the full picture, anticipate challenges, and make decisions that fuel growth and helps the business to sustain itself. They also know how not to run out of cash. They know what to do. If they ever do run out of cash, they know what exactly to do. Then another important aspect, another important reason why one should be financially intelligent is that they know how to pitch their numbers. If they run into, for example, as they always say, what's your elevator pitch? They run into someone who suddenly piques interest in their business. They know how to play with the numbers to make the investor believe what they're saying. They can talk confidently and convincingly to an investor. If you know your numbers, you will not be saying, let me get back to you. A financially intelligent person knows this is what I need to tell my investor to believe in me and invest in my business. They can also spot risks early. Liquidity risk, by liquidity risk, I mean cash risks. Apologies to those who are not commercially inclined. Maybe you didn't attend commercial class in secondary school or something like that. Liquidity means cash. It means what you can easily have access to. So someone who's financially intelligent knows that this thing, where I'm heading to, is going to give me a liquidity risk. It's going to give me a profitability risk, meaning this thing is going to hit into my profit if I don't address it, or an investment risk. Finally, and a financially intelligent person knows when to seek professional advice. Like in medicine, we can have first aid box, we can have all those kind of things that we can do sharp. Maybe take paracetamol. I have headache, I can take paracetamol, or I have a waist pain, I can take something. But a financially intelligent person knows when not to self-medicate and reach out to a professional for advice. So, if you don't know if you're financially intelligent, or you are here because you want to grow your financial intelligence skills, what should you do? How do you start? The first thing you need to do, in accounting, we call it entity concept. What does that mean? It means your business is a separate legal and financial person from you. If you've not been doing this, then you've not started business. It's as simple as that. There's no negotiation about it. If you're, sorry to say, Pajimo and James Enterprise is still the same thing as Odunayo, then it means that we don't know what you are doing. The first thing to do, and it's the most important step you need to take, is to separate your personal transactions from your business transactions. There are people I know, there are some clients I know, yes, they did that, they've registered under CAC, but you will see debit alerts in their business transaction to cook soup. You need to be intentional about what you're doing with your business account and what you're doing with your personal account. And why is this important? Better financial control. You can clearly see how much profit your business is making. If you're making sure that if you have to take money from your business, respect that business. They say respect is reciprocal. If you respect your business will respect you. Don't go into somebody's house and open their pot of soup and be eating their meat without anything. That's not respect. That's how you should treat your business. Your business is separate and you should treat it with, if you have to take money from it, ask it, please borrow me this money, I am going to return it. And then you return it. If you have governance structures in place, you have to follow that process before you can take money out of it, even though you are the chief executive officer of that business. Secondly, it gives you legal protection. Let's assume that business is not just only your own, it's two people that own it, or three people, or what have you. And then you guys go and borrow money from somewhere. the day that business will collapse because the debt was mismanaged, if you don't separate it from you, it means you too will collapse. I'm just joking. You have to separate your business from yourself for things like this, especially liability reasons. Then credibility. Your investor will believe you when you show proper record, and you need maybe you have a scale-up proposal to give to a bank to help you fund. If inside the bank transaction they are seeing some kind of, maybe you went to Ibro Fish and you pay from there, they are going to be like, excuse me, who's going to invest in this kind of business where you are modeling up personal transaction to your business transaction. And finally, it's easy to comply. Tax authorities will be all over your statement, and you want to show them that you have separated your transactions. Then, once you separate your transaction, it is critical that you make use of what I was trying to say with this picture is, whenever you make transactions from your business account, and even I do it on my personal account, I ensure to make use of the purpose of the transaction. As negligible as that box is, it is also very important in your personal record journey, especially if you don't yet have an accountant that can help you to prepare your accounts and do bank reconciliation and all that. It's just you in your growing business that you're trying to keep record. It helps you to use the purpose of transfer. And that's why I'm not a fan of USSD, because it doesn't give me the opportunity to put my narration. So I use my mobile app and maybe online transfer. I'm just saying. But as negligible as that, if you make it a habit, it's also something that helps you to track your expenditure and explain what you're doing with your money to yourself. So the next slide I'm going to look at is the basic financial statements for your business. On this slide, there are 3 basic financial statements and cash flow statement. I won't be talking about the balance sheet because that requires a bit of technicality, and I am conscious of focusing on what you should do as a financially intelligent person. The balance sheet, you need to get a professional or an expert to help you make interpretation of it. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to let you know that your balance sheet is synonymous to your dashboard. Income statements, we also call it P&L, profit and loss account. It shows you the financial performance over a specific period of time, sometimes monthly, quarterly, annually, how you want to prepare your account. On the dashboard, it is your business speedometer. A balance sheet will show you the entire thing, meaning that on your balance sheet, you will definitely see something around this income statement on your balance sheet. But we're talking on the balance on the income statement now. What are the key elements that can improve your revenue, your sales, and what it costs you to make those? So it could be your cost of production, other indirect costs, rent, and all that. It's when you make comparison, these 2 elements, that you can decide whether you are making a profit or a loss. But there are some elements that you need to consider if you need to improve the profitability of your business. Number 1 is your sales. I won't talk much about growth strategy. I'm not a marketer. Marketers know that. But as an accountant, we are trained to understand these things because we also need to be able to advise our clients. What do you need to do to increase your sales? Do you need to change your strategy, your selling strategy? You need to increase commissions on sales to help people sell off your goods. I remember I have a dog, my female dog, and she gave me 9 puppies. I thought to myself, what will I do with 9 German Shepherds? So I just put some commission and say, well, if you bring someone to buy this, I'm going to give you 10%. And alas, I sold it off. People were like, how did you sell it? It's a sales strategy. So if you need to increase your income, you have to be able to have a growth strategy. The second point is on cost efficiency and management. With cost efficiency, you are thinking about how to reduce your direct costs. Maybe you want to be buying in bulk, or you want to negotiate with a supplier, or you want to control your expenses like rent, utilities. Some people go as far as installing solar so that they reduce their NEPA or AEDC bill. Some share rents with, all kinds of strategy to reduce some even like it is today, we do a lot of working from home. These are cost reduction strategy because you don't want to be paying rent in an office that you hardly don't do anything in. So these are things that a financially intelligent person needs to pay attention to. Then we talk on cash flow. I'm not going to talk on that because we're going to look at that on the next slide. Focusing on your market and your customers. Don't do copy and paste. Don't say because somebody is selling 50 naira, I should be selling 50 naira. Who are your customers? Maybe your customers are high premium people. They don't like cheap things. Then you go ahead and you're offering them cheap things. It will affect your sales. Critically, human resource management. In fact, many entrepreneurs, they ignore this part. Managing your staff or the people that work with you is a crucial determinant of your business success. Many entrepreneurs, is a one-man business, is a one-man show. They build the business around them. They don't build a team. If you build a team and you dedicate your time to the team, building them and building their capacity, your business will survive without you. But many entrepreneurs, you see them, I'm the owner, they are not, anything that has to do with building capacity, they're only doing it for themselves. They're not thinking about the people that are working for them. Before you know it, they fall sick, they burn out, and, BP comes, all kinds of stress. You need to start building a team. I should flag the caveat that you also then need to do a due diligence before you invite people into your business. There's, a tricky thing about managing that, but we all should be aware that you need a team to sustain your business. Then continuously innovating to add value. Like I said, always adding value to the thing that you offer to your customers is critical, because that is when you can get more sales because they know that you're adding value. Especially if you have plenty competitors, you want to differentiate your product with your competitors. If you don't add value, you are going to lose that sales. Strategically position your business and partner. With partner, I mean network, form alliance. These things also help. Like my old lecturer was always say, I see somebody selling beans and dodo. There is no bread there, and I'm the one producing bread. I will just go and package my shop or my business beside the person selling beans, because I know somebody selling beans will always need bread. It's just an example. That kind of alliance can blow your business. Understand your risk exposure. This one, hey. People will just enter business because they said they are going to make this one profit, that one profit. They don't understand what the risks are. So when the risks show face, they start fidgeting, they start panicking, and that panic makes them to make wrong decisions, and then what happens to the business is gone. It is very important that whatever business somebody is showing you, whatever business you are into, what are the risks, what are the potholes that can be in your money bag? If you don't know it, you won't know how to stitch it. Finally, remember to engage the service of a professional accountant. Don't self-medicate. Don't use tetracycline for what needs amoxicillin. The next slide is on cash flow statement. I should say that I'm running through this because I see that there's a Q&A at the end. And so please put down your questions or your comments so that at the end we can talk through it. So for the cash flow statement, as you can see, this is your fuel gauge on your dashboard. If you are speeding at 120 miles per hour and your fuel finish, what happens to your business? Somebody should please jump in and tell me.
The car will stop. It means the business will crash.
It's as simple as that.
No move, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been in a vehicle where the fuel gauge is not working? Me, I've been in vehicles like that too. I remember those days when we used to enter along. You will enter some kind of along like this. You will see that I will just be looking and I will see that the fuel gauge is not moving. How is this man knowing whether he's, because to me, I'm beginning to panic that this man's fuel will soon finish. But when I asked him, he said, this fuel will take me to Guabalada, as you see, because he doesn't have a fuel gauge. He's using his mind to gauge that I bought 5,000 naira for yesterday. I've not gone. That's how some people do their business. They don't know when cash is in and cash is out, and they are doing business. My God, that's a lot of mental stress people are putting themselves into. If you have a cash flow statement, that is your fuel gauge of your business. The report tracks the flow of cash in and out of your business over a certain period. And by cash, I don't mean cash like this. So I mean the one inside your bank, because now with online banking, it's as good as now you are spending. You have to even write check or go to bank or anything. So cash, it means the one in your bank and the one available to you. And without cash, like somebody said in the room, your business will crash. There are three components of cash flow. And for the purpose of this conversation, I wouldn't be going into the technical details, because, as accountants, we know there are non-cash items, non-cash elements. I'm not going to go into the non-cash. I want to go into the cash side because I want to use it to pass the message. There are three components. Cash from operating activities, that's the cash you receive and pay to your business, which is the life of your business. By the pay, it means the one the customer paid you for a service, or the one you used to pay a supplier, or the one you paid maybe for the rent of your, whatever it is that you pay as cash for running that business is your operating activity cash. You have investing activity, which is cash paid. Maybe you bought an asset. Asset, by this we mean expenses you make for things above that you will use. The lifespan is above 1 year. So whatever you buy, say you are into blogging and you now buy yourself a phone, that is an asset, because you're going to use that phone for a long period of time for the purpose of the business. There is also investment. We know what investment is. These are expenditure made. These are all expenditure made for long-term assets. Then we have cash for financing activities. Cash received from an investor or from a bank or from loan apps, as we call it. These are all financing activities. What are the key elements that we need to consider to improve our cash flow? For operating activities, you need to speed up customer payments. When I say speed up customer payment, it means you have sold something, the person did not pay you in time. Please, don't go and fight the person. I have witnessed all kinds of drama because somebody is owing you. No, that's not how to sustain your business. There are strategies people apply, like the internet that I'm doing in the company. What they do, 5 days to the end, they will send me, I don't know if I think it's usually automated. They'll send an email saying your internet will cut off in 5 days. Then in 24 hours, they will say your internet will cut off in 24 hours. Please, if you don't want, blah, blah, blah. This is just an example. Whatever business you are into, you need to think creatively of how you want to encourage customers to pay. Sometimes early payment discounts. Real estate people do that a lot. If you are paying cash now, you pay something less. If you are doing 6-month payment plan, you are paying. All these are payment strategies to manage their cash flow. Then control expenditure. You want to cut unnecessary expenses. Like we said, some people install solar because they don't want to be paying NEPA, whatever, all the time. Some people, instead of buying, they go on and rent. So whatever the strategy is, you need to control your cost control. Even investing in your staff is a form of cost control. That's another conversation. Because if you invest in your staff will grow commitment to your business and will fight battles behind your back. So, but that's another human resource sort of conversation, not for today. Avoid tying up cash in stock. I was with a client who talked about flying to China to go and import something because the cost is cheap and all that. And in my mind, I asked him, where are you going to keep the thing when you bring it? He said he will rent a place. That's cost. He will rent a place and keep it. Okay, how are you going to sell it? So it's a whole chain of cost. If you don't need to, avoid tying up cash in stock, especially if the stock are perishables or are those that have best before dates that you want to think of. You don't want to have goods with you that will soon expire or you're under pressure. I oftentimes look at people who invest in supermarket business, and there's one close by that just invested, and I entered the place. I saw the way the man stock, and in my mind I'm like, is this man going to sell all this thing before it expires? I think there are strategies to how they do these things, but some people go into those kind of business without fully understanding how those kind of stock are managed. It is very critical, otherwise it's going to crumble the business. Then improving pricing strategy, we already talked about it when we were discussing income and expenditure accounts. Cash flow components on investing. You can delay buying assets instead of buying, you rent to manage your cash. If you have analyzed your operating cash and you see that I don't have too much excess, so you choose to rent. Then sometimes you see over into what's that English? People who have the enthusiasm to invest in a business, they buy all kinds of assets. When they now start doing the business, they realize, I don't even need all this thing that I bought. Sell them if you're not using them. Don't keep them, because some of them may go moribund and out of fashion. You have lost money, and that's your cash that you have lost. Better to sell it and invest it into your operating business. Then prioritize investments with high returns and short payback period. When I say investments with high return, please, I did not say MMMO and I did not say CBEX. Please, what I mean by investment with high returns are those that you have reviewed. You probably have a feasibility study that explains the flow, and you see that, oh, this business is high return. If I have excess cash from my operating, let me invest it to get, even if it's a money market fund you want to put it, those are also very safe investments that you can put your money into for quick returns. Then finally, on the financing one, manage your debt wisely. Don't jump at every debt. Those loan app people, they can choke somebody. They will call you and call you and call you. We can borrow you. Think carefully before you enter inside it. Otherwise, they will post your picture. Buy over high interest loans with lower ones. By this, if you have found yourself already in a high interest loan that you are struggling with, you can hunt for a lower interest loan. Most of these banks do it. They will buy over a high interest loan with a lower one. For instance, you have gone to collect a loan app with 30% interest. There are some microfinance that will give you at 15%. You can negotiate with them as a short-term solution to that one that is hooking your neck and is not making you sleep at night. Then we have situation where you bring in investors to inject cash. Please, if you don't have proper record, there's no way you bring in investor, because if you are in the investor's shoes, will you chuck your money inside somebody that is mixing soup money and business money together? So back to the point, separate your business from your personal so that investors can believe you and inject cash. Finally, and the one that is the most common issues among clients that I've had, avoid draining your business with personal withdrawal. Don't always go any small thing you are jumping into your business money. You say, hey, after I'm the one that make the money now, is it not to eat? No, it is not to eat. There are procedures for you to follow before you, and if you are making the money, if you are withdrawing it, you can put yourself on salary. Okay, I want to be on this salary, so that it is clear that the money coming out is payment for your service to the business. Finally, this is my last slide. Like I said, your dashboard shows everything. That's more like your balance sheet. And for us to understand the relationship between cash and profit, cash is like your fuel in your car tank. It tells you how far you need to drive before you need to refuel. While your profit is like your speedometer. It tells you how fast you are going, how much revenue you can generate as compared to expenses. You might have fuel, but if you don't monitor it, like that Kabu guy or that Along guy that doesn't have a fuel gauge, if you don't monitor it, you won't even know how far you will be stressing your mental capacity. Oh, it's like I have cash. Oh no, yes, somebody paid me yesterday. It's true. You will just be stressing your brain. If you have the right report, you know when you run out of cash and whether you should move fast or whether you should slow down, because you know that there's the next filling station where you can hop in to get more cash. No fuel, stranded car, and your business does what? It stops. You can be speeding very high, but if your fuel tank is empty, no matter how profitable your business is, the business will stop. So there's a scenario I put here. If you own a boutique and sell your clothes, let's say you sell the clothes for 1 million naira and you bought that clothes for 700. What's your profit? 300,000. Is that not sweet business? Sharp. But if your customer did not pay you cash, he said, I will come back later, and you sold it, in your mind, you're thinking you have gained 300K. But in actual sense, 700K has gone out there. You have not seen your 1 million. No. What does that mean? It means whatever business is left, whatever cash is left, you have reduced that cash with 700,000. That's what it means. So a financially intelligent entrepreneur must monitor both the fuel gauge and speedometer of your business. It is very, very critical. And for the sake of time, I'd like to pause here and allow people to jump in and ask questions, or let's just interact for the sake of time.
Give you on the chat box. So I will invite the moderator who's supposed to comment this to take us through the Q&A segment and the rest segments of today's webinar. So Queen Mwachuku, can you hear me?
Thank you very much, Adaise. I can hear you loud and clear. Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening to our outstanding, impeccable speaker. That was an incredible section, Madam Odunayo. In fact, I feel like I should come and consult you personally. That was incredible. Kudos. Well done. That was really eye-opening. Speaker did a wonderful job. That's the beautiful thing about Skills to Gold. This is a platform where you come to get excellent value for free. These are things that you pay hugely for, and you go for classes, you go for training to get this kind of value. But in Skills to Gold, you get these things for free. This is an amazing vision that is giving us value. When I mean value, incredible value at no cost. Imagine the power-packed lessons that we've got to learn about financial intelligence. So as an entrepreneur, you have to be financially intelligent. You have to be financially intelligent, according to our speaker, and indeed, that is unarguable. All right, before I go further, I would want us to take questions. If you have a question, either raise an emoji, raise your hand so that I'll call you to ask your question, or you can drop your question in the chat box and I'll read it out for our speaker to attend to the virtual microphone. Ask your question.
Okay, thank you very much. And I must commend the presenter for a work, well done. You've laid a very good foundation. Prior to now, I used to think financial intelligence has to just do with, having the finance and your ability to, appropriately spend it. But today, I think it has gone beyond that. My thinking in terms of business, for me, I think has changed from this moment. You don't dip your hand into your business and then pull out money and spend. I am someone who usually, does that. In business, I dip in my hand and with the hope that I'm going to bring it back. But at times I do, at times I don't bring it back. But I have this question. I believe there's a thin line between financial intelligence and financial control. I would appreciate if you're able to give me just a brief explanation so that I also increase my knowledge in terms of the difference between financial intelligence and then financial control. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for the appreciation for your question. Financial intelligence and financial control. Yes, I agree there's a thin line. A financially intelligent person knows to control. And your control are the systems you set up to help you keep your business. So the intelligence is what lets you know what your do's and don'ts are. And your do's and don'ts are your control. It's as simple as that.
Dukwe, please can we have you? You have the virtual microphone.
Hello, good evening. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Quick question. I have been approached by a few friends who have started a business and they have asked me to come and invest. Now, I have also asked for documents like the balance sheet just to have an idea of what the assets and liabilities of the business are. But they keep telling me, oh, okay, they haven't yet got those documentation, they haven't yet set up that part of the business and all that. So in your professional opinion, do you think it would be wise to still go ahead and invest or more or less just totally pull out since, such information hasn't been made available to me?
Mausi, can you hear me? Confirm you can hear me.
Yes, good evening. I can hear you. Question is, what advice can you give to people that invest their money in all these Ponzi schemes? What advice can you advise people to really go into it? It's also finance. The last one, it was dollars. People invested dollars in it. So what can you advise people like that? Secondly, the fear of finance in starting a small scale business. How do you conquer that fear? Thank you very much. That's my question.
Thank you very much, Mausi. That was a very intelligent question, I must say. What advice do you have for those that invest in Ponzi scheme? I'm sure our speaker will do justice to that question. All right, before I go further, there's a question in the chat box that says, how do we conquer fear of finance in starting a business? I think that's a very intelligent question. How do we conquer fear of finance in starting a business? Kate, somebody said, wow, this eye-opening section has made me realize I need to step up my financial game and prioritize my business. I'm making a commitment to, I'm making a commitment to treat the business that fits.
Right? We take it as a pride in doing. Movement, they say, creates path. So it's not just about coming to hear the grammar and going with it, but rather what you get to do with that grammar that you've gotten, the English, the feedback that you've gotten, what do you do with it? Movement creates path. So go ahead and do something different. So that the next time we're having this conversation, for the people that say this is the first time they're coming on the platform, it would have been nice to get feedback from them. Are they still on call? The people that say they're just joining this for the first time. Are we still on call? Okay, I'm not sure we are. I would have loved to get your feedback. Feedback is how we grow. The aim is to, we're not doing anything with the knowledge, we're not doing anything with the platform aside from giving out value. So if we're getting results, that says we're doing something well, and feedback is exactly how we grow. So thank you for engaging. Thank you for staying till this very junction. We are at the end of the webinar. It's been a successful one. This is something we do on a monthly basis. Every month we bring out something and we talk about it, aside from what other things that the academy is known for. So the message to join the WhatsApp community was shared on the WhatsApp platform. So Umi or JB, if you're on call, please share that. If you'd like to be part of the community and keep getting value like this, a community where we genuinely want you to grow, where we want to make more entrepreneurs, and not just entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs that do the entrepreneurship because it's what they are known for, what they want to be known for. Your skills, your passion, something that you're really good at. You're doing it and it's not paying you. Now imagine it's paying you. That's the goal. So join that community with that link. And with that, I would say thank you very much for staying with us till this very time. We start time. This is basically at the end of the segment. So we would like to see your faces. Feel free to unmute. Let's see your face. Let me convert this to gallery view so I can see everybody's faces. My own very own leader. Teresa Machuku, you're very much welcome, ma'am. Can you hear me? Okay, I need to on. All right. So thank you. Let's see your faces. We are at the end. This is just a conversation. You can talk. Just say hello. Greet someone. Say hello to someone. Let's hear your voice. Let's see your face. Sintiki, Samuel, Hassan.
That fits me with the utmost care and dedication it deserves. Well done. And then I think I have one more question. And then the question: what is the highest amount of money you advise someone who is starting out new? I think this is what the person is trying to say. What's the highest amount of money for someone who is starting a new business? What's the highest amount of money the person needs to have? I think that's what he or she. Let me see what name is that.
This is the one. I didn't hear the question. The last question.
This is Pretty Adakin. She's saying, what is the highest amount of money do you advise someone who is starting a new business to have? I mean, the sentence is not quite clear, but I think that's what she's trying to ask. I mean, the highest amount of money someone who is starting a new business needs to have. Well, all right, at this point, I'm not going to do the answering.
The amount of money.
Over to you. Yes, someone starting a business. Oh, okay. She said, wait, let me get that correct. She said, okay, what is the highest amount of money you advise someone who is starting a new business to borrow? Oh, okay. So are you saying if you're starting a business with loan, are you asking how much someone who wants to start a new business can borrow? I want to believe that's what you're saying. Pretty Adaking, would you want to ask your question verbally so we get it clearly? Pretty Adaking, would you want to? Can you hear me? Okay, she said yes. Oh, all right. I think she means loan. Yes, she's talking about loan. All right. Does anybody have any other question before I hand over the virtual microphone to our dear speaker? Let me see if there is any other question. Yes, we do. Okay. Okay, ma'am. I think you have the virtual mic now. That's it.
Sorry, I just
okay. So the first.
Sorry, I apologize. I just stopped the question in the chats.
Oh. Okay. All right. Let's open the gate of grace. Let's open the gate of grace.
There's another question from Alice.
There's another question from Alice. Alice Moses. So she said, how do we overcome the challenges of business being run down by staff through theft? That's a very strong one. How do we overcome the challenges of business being run down by staff through theft? All right, ma'am, you have the virtual microphone.
There's also a question from that has been missed.
Okay.
All right, let her just take this one. Let her take this one, and then we'll know if we are speaking to the gate of grace. Let her take this one.
Okay. The first question was for Dupe, and I have this question. The investment you're talking about, is it for a new business or an existing business? If it's a new business, it means they will probably not have the records that you want. They won't have a balance sheet. They won't have a P&L. They won't have all that because it's a new business just starting. There's no record to show you. What they should show you, however, is a business plan. And I'll advise you, if you're putting your money, if you're an investor, that's where you need people like us, a financial advisor who's going to help. And that's the point I was making about self-medicating. A financially intelligent person knows when to consult, knows when to speak to an expert. So if you're committing your hard-earned money into an investment, like a pilot that is flying blind, he doesn't exactly know where he's going. So I would say if it's a new business, they don't have the records you want, then it means that you should consult an expert to review the documents that they send to you. And sometimes if you have financial knowledge, maybe you have financial background, it's good to also get another pair of eyes to look at it. Even doctors do this. They do peer review and share just to reduce the risk of making the wrong decision. If it's an existing business and they don't have records, my dear, that's a red flag. That's not to say that the business is not profitable, but that's a flag to pay attention to. Then the second question, it says, what advice can you give to people who go into Ponzi scheme? I'd say, as a financially intelligent person, shortcuts in finance never work. So whoever is going into Ponzi scheme, my advice to them is for them to be self-aware that they are actually gambling. It's up to them to decide what they want to do with their money. If they want to gamble with it, it's their choice. People who put their money into whether there will be 4 corner kicks in a match, they obviously know that there's a whatever chance that there will not be 4 corner kicks. So that's gambling. I'll advise them to be aware of the risks with Ponzi before they put in their money. I won't be the one to tell them not to do it. They should know better. And the question about fear of finance in starting up a small business. In starting up a small business, it's related to the fourth question, which is also on fear of finance. And I'd say the root of fear in everything in life, finance or not, the root of fear comes from a lack of confidence, fear of the unknown, worrying whether you want to make mistakes or not knowing. That's what causes fear. And so the first thing is to deal with that fear. Build your financial literacy so that you know. That will help you to work confidently in your financial decisions. So like attending seminars such as this is one step into conquering that fear of financing. Another point is you can read books, improve your financial literacy, research, learn, continue to learn. Like somebody always says, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. Then the other one says, what is the highest amount a new business should borrow? That one, I won't be able to say because investment depends on what you're doing.
Exactly.
It depends on what the business is about. Some business are capital intensive, some aren't. You can start some business with zero because if what you're selling, like our president of the SkillstoGold had said, if what you're selling is your skill, what you have, then you don't need much capital to invest in it. You don't need much capital to start. It is when you are trying to scale up. So it really depends. I wouldn't be able to answer that question categorically to say, oh, this is the highest amount. Some people start with zero because they have the skill. All they need to do is to position themselves strategically to convert that skill into money. Then the last one says, overcome challenge being run down through theft. Okay, so this one, I would say that you need a financial expert to help you look into your business. Because an expert will identify the areas, the loopholes that is causing them to steal and help you set, like the first question, the person who asked the first question said financial intelligence and financial control. You are financially intelligent now. That review, do a needs analysis for you and advise you accordingly how to address it. where your weaknesses are. Maybe it's from your recruitment. Maybe you are not doing proper due diligence. Maybe it's from how you designed your business. It's so such that you yourself, you can't even know where you are selling or where you are not. There are a whole lot of factors that we can discuss here in this meeting. Feel free to contact me. My number is on the screen, and then we can take this from here professionally. The last question, I didn't quite understand. That was something about, what was it again, Seth?
I can't remember. How much? It was about the how much one who needs to set up a new business has to get. Yeah, because it depends on a whole lot of factors that we I don't know. I can't make such a conclusion here. So yeah. Okay, so let's extend this a little bit. Even though I don't quite understand this question, I'm just going to read it out. Maybe you have a better understanding.
Okay, go ahead.
How do I go about investing in Fortune 500 companies?
Which one is Fortune 500? Please let him come on speaker and talk about it.
Duke, I think that's you. Can you?
Yep. So I was talking about like companies like IBM, Microsoft, Cisco. If you want to invest in probably buying their shares, what would be a good strategy to go by?
Yeah, it's to interpret their financial reports. It's just, by reviewing their reports, you can tell how much profit they're making, how much they're sharing as dividends, and how much, and the trend of profit that they are making, whether it's descending or ascending, and a whole lot of ratio analysis and some technical analysis needs to be done to inform you, with facts. So yes, there's some form of analysis that needs to be done and research that needs to be done to accurately advise you on that.
Okay, thank you so very much, ma'am. I want to believe you've done justice to all the questions asked, and I'm sure that everyone that has asked the question is satisfied with the answer you've given.
How do we engage your service to set up small-scale business? How? Call that number, and we'll discuss how. I think that's it for me.
Thank you so very much, Madam Odunaya. I mean, that was a smart answer. I think it's just the smartest answer I've had today. Well done for an amazing section. Well done for answering the questions intelligently.
So thank you very much. Our facilitator, you really did justice to the presentation this evening with the questions and the engagement. I can very much tell that Labu, Noha, Yemi, Alice, Salewa, JDA, Choma, Felix, Kareem, Larry, Seida, Damu. Let's see more faces. Aha, thank you very much for joining. Mr. Hassan, Seida, let's see your face. Kumi, let's see your face. Unoha, let's see your face. Intiki, Yemi. Aha, Unoha, thank you. Seida, thank you. Abdulrahim, don't go yet. We want to take a quick picture, so let's have more people joining. Then we'll take that picture. Labu, Unoha, Yemi, Alice, Salewa, JDA, Choma, Felix, Kareem, Larry, Seida, Damu. Let's see more faces. Aha, thank you very much for joining. Mr. Hassan, Seida, let's see your face. Kumi, let's see your face. Unoha, let's see your face. Someone going on. Aha, this is Felix. Thank you very much. I see your face. Choma, you're very much welcome. Let's get more faces. I want to see faces on the screen. It's going to be a really beautiful picture. And please drop your social media handle with us. We'll tag you. Thank you very much. 90 seconds, I will take that picture. Unoha, Seida. Aha. So thank you. We've gotten a picture.
Thank you much.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you very much.